Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi, and a very good afternoon to all our viewers. We are back in our fourth webinar during the event, virtual event in the WorldTEX Hybrid 2022. So before we go further, let me introduce myself first. My name is Saiful Aznam Muhammad Osman. Okay, I am one of the organizing committee for the World Tax Travel Exchange, and we are very very lucky today because with us today, our speaker is all the way from Bosnia Herzegovina. All right, we like to introduce to all of our viewers the founder of Holiday Bosnia, Mr. Kamran Sedikiu. How are you, Mr. Kamran? Hello, and a very
I'm
good day to
fine.
you.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Saiful. Assalamu alaikum. And assalamu alaikum to all the viewers. Thank you for inviting me this prestigious event to give a talk. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. I'm actually in Riyadh at the moment. So just to,
Yeah.
my
Oh,
throat's a bit sore because it's a bit dusty out there. There's a bit of a sandstorm going on. So excuse
really?
me if I don't sound too
Sandstorm?
good. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
no
it was.
problem.
Yeah.
We hope everything is okay for you in
No,
Riyadh. Okay,
it's fine. Thank
cool.
you very much.
So how long will you be in Riyadh?
I'm flying back tomorrow, actually. So yeah, I was just here for a few meetings, and I'm going back tomorrow, inshallah.
Good.
I'm actually based in Dubai. Just on a point, just about Bosnia. So Holiday Bosnia, we have a couple of offices. One is in
Okay,
Dubai and one is in London, and our main office is in Sarajevo in Bosnia, where we have the team and everything else there. So
very good.
yeah, yeah, so I'm around, out and about a bit.
Yeah, so now in Riyadh, it will definitely in the morning, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Nice and fresh
yeah,
start.
good, good,
And
good, good to hear that. Okay, and in Malaysia time, we are now about 3:09 p.m. in Malaysia. Okay, no
mhm,
matter where the viewers are, we are lucky today because we have Mr. Kamran to share about our topic for our webinar today is new era of tourism. Right. So thank you very much to Mr. Kamran because
thank you.
having a very what do you call it squeeze the time to be live with us today. So without further delay, okay, let's go for questions from me. Okay,
Sure.
with the topic of new era of tourism, it is often people say these days we are entering a new era of tourism. So what does this mean? And what
Yes.
factors have led to this actually?
Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, this has become a term which has become quite common amongst the sector, tourism industry for sure. Maybe to explain it and the factors that you have to go back a little bit in some history. So I
Okay,
think around the 1960s, this is where tourism started really kicking off in our lifetime,
industry. Yep.
led by you will probably remember, Brother Saiful, that air travel used to be quite expensive, and so when the airlines were
Yeah,
doing cheap flights, it became accessible for more and more people, and it was almost like it's been a revolution in travel, where access to cheap flights is very easy for large part of the world population. and of course employment and working in different countries. So the whole culture of travel has evolved, and tourism on the back of that.
Yep.
So since the 60s, really the growth model, the economic growth model hasn't really changed much for tourism, which is basically tourism is good for the economy.
Yep.
It's a massive income generator for countries, many countries,
Correct.
and it creates jobs. So that's great. So it's got to be good. So, and it's been growing like that, and it's been growing and growing and growing. However, in the chase for profits, um, what's happened is there's been a sort of a vicious circle or vicious cycle where
Yep.
the country generates good income from tourism, so then it turns more of its, if you like, its population or its focus on more tourism, and it starts, reaching the stage where we have now of what's called over tourism. So this
Yep.
is one of the main factors: the easy access to travel, good income generations for countries. It's led to a sort of explosion of tourism each year. It's almost like a truck out of control. It's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And okay, there's good things about that, of course. The mantra of let's have jobs and let's have good economy is great. Of course,
Yes.
people need jobs and money, but at the same time, we've seen changes, and I'm sure you will know in places, very cultural places like Malaysia in the east, that the culture of the place has changed. So what's happened generally is um, uh, let's say foreigners will come, they like the place, they'll maybe rent out properties, they buy properties, the rents will go up.
Yep.
Eventually, it becomes unaffordable for the young people of those cities and countries. Like if you look, like for example, Venice and things, they've all moved out, and
Yep.
more and more things turned into tourism. So instead of the cultural, traditional, authentic things, it's a lot of very tacky tourist sorts of, if you like, attractions. Whether it's
They go for attrition.
traditional type of traditions have been turned into tourist attractions, and souvenir shops
Yep.
everywhere. So what used to be maybe more varied has become very focused just on tourists, and the authentic culture is lost forever, you know. And you have this all over the world, and so you've got this concept of over tourism, just in the chase for tourists. The thing which attracts people to that country is changed, because it
Yep.
just becomes like that,
Because
and then
of the
people move on to the
attrition.
next country. Yeah, so everyone is searching for the next authentic experience.
Yep.
So I mean, this is a major problem. So that was, and of course, these huge cruise ships coming, and there's a huge environmental impact, which causing a lot of problems there. So all of this was known, and there was a big discussion, and people think we need to find a way to control this. As I said, it's a juggernaut out of control. And
Yep.
then COVID came along, so we've had a pause
Yep.
and a rethink, and it's an opportunity. So what we call is the new era of tourism is really this post-COVID period that we're entering a new era, because it's accelerated the need for change in tourism industry. So that's really what it is. And so, for example, we know that we see how fragile our planet is. After COVID, we realize how fragile our health is. You
Yep.
know, so suddenly
We are
people are
more
more
concerned on
keen.
the health. Yeah.
Yeah. So people are wanting to do something now which causes less damage to the environment. Before they
Correct.
weren't thinking about it. And also companies, a lot of tourism was one of the biggest victims of COVID, right?
Yep.
And so many businesses closed and collapsed, and airlines collapsed. So the new era is a new way of looking at tourism, or let's say a reset for tourism. People are more conscious for their health, their families, and the environment. So we sort of realized, so maybe out of the tragedy and the problems of COVID, we can have something beneficial for the future for tourism, because now we're opening up again all over the world, inshallah. So this is what's meant by the new era of tourism, and the factors that led up to it, as I said, was the concept of over tourism, the chase for profits, and the changing of communities. And then COVID was the last thing, which was really had the big wake up call, shall we say?
All right.
So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Okay, all right. So that's the new era of tourism, basically because the industry itself has evolved. Those days back,
Yes,
as you said, back in 1970s, it's very difficult for normal people to go and travel. But
yes,
due to now cheap flight, everyone can fly. So you
yes.
can see a lot of what do you call it, tourists.
The
Okay,
general public,
people
yes,
go
all
and
of us, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
so people can go there, and every single the world they can, like for same goes to Malaysia with our what do you call it, Air Asia. So a lot of
Air
Malaysians,
Asia, Tiger Air, all these things. Yeah, yeah,
Targa
fantastic.
Air, yep. So all these what do you call it, give us an opportunity to travel everywhere we
Yes,
want at a very good price. Meaning
yes,
now everyone had effort to go, but
yes.
after our best friends called COVID come to the industry, all
Yeah,
right. So it's slightly
yes,
different models already, right? Okay, so
yes, yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it's a tough time for the industry, but as you said, the new era, people are more concerning. If you have your money only, but you, but
Yes,
see, during 2 years, we have a lot of money, but we cannot travel. The
yes,
flight is cheap, but flight also cannot go. The
yes,
petrol is cheap, but we cannot go anywhere,
yes,
right? So
yes.
okay, good,
Also, also people value, they didn't maybe take some things for granted. Even we took travel for granted. Some of us, we just could travel everywhere. We don't care for the environment. It's not a big deal.
yeah,
Now it's suddenly value. So people are looking more for something more meaningful in their travel, in their
correct,
experiences, and they want to do something for the environment. So this is what we see as the new era of travel, and the way companies work has evolved. I mean, we're having these online meetings and discussions. This was
virtual
never
meetings.
existed before COVID, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah. Before
so
we hectic to travel everywhere. Now just
yes.
with this VR technology, the video calls, everything will be okay, right?
So
Fast
this
and
this
efficient.
webinar is actually an example of the new era of tourism. This is exactly an
Correct,
example that we do tourism
correct,
events
correct.
online. So yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's cool, Mr. Kamran. Okay, so second questions. What are the big trends that you see coming up in the future?
Yes, I mean this on the back of what we just were discussing. So yeah, what are the main changes coming up? Um, well, I think tourism uh, cannot stay the same as before. Um, in this COVID period, especially, the technology has accelerated rapidly.
Yep,
So things which we tend to see, I would expect to see, is the way destinations are marketed. There's a lot of this artificial intelligence.
the
Um,
AR. Yep,
yeah, people are more keen for. I suppose they're more hygiene aware now than they were
yep,
before. So that's
yep,
one area that the tourism destinations and the service providers should be really focusing on hygiene. Um,
yep,
the other area should be on the environment and social impact, as we mentioned. The environmental impact, people are keen to see um, something which is protecting the environment or minimizing the damage to the environment.
yep.
People also, so from the user point of view, that's the sort of things they're looking at. Something which they can do. They realize their life is so fragile, and they want to help
Correct,
put something back into the local economies where they see. So
correct,
before maybe they came as tourists, now they want to do something which is social impact. So
correct.
that's another thing which I expect we'll see more of. We may
Yep,
not see so many large groups as before. We may see
yep,
smaller groups, family
yep.
groups. People say, okay,
Yes.
I was so away
People
from my
want to
mother and
spend
father.
time. Yeah, people want to
Yes,
spend time with their quality family first
yes,
because
yeah.
they know
Let's go
life
with
is
our
very fragile.
parents on a trip now
Yeah.
because we took it for granted that they're there. Tomorrow they won't be there. So I think we'll
Yes.
see these sort of things. Um,
Yep.
Also, in these last few years, we've seen the rise of cryptocurrency.
Yep.
So I expect that payments methodologies will be different. Maybe, I mean, already we've seen companies offering that you can pay in Bitcoin. You know,
Yep.
so I think payment solutions will be very interesting. Something we can see. This is part of technology. So we'll
Yep.
see. I think new payment solutions. I think we'll see the virtual reality. How people will
Yep.
market because of the distance issues. They will say you can see the destination. You can see Malaysia
Yep.
in some, with some VR headset
VR. Yep. Yep.
before you actually go there. So I think this will be a big trend to promote destinations, and we're already seeing some of that already in some of the more
Yeah.
advanced players. Um, and I think also alongside that technology, we'll see like improved communications, so that the companies will want to know exactly what the user needs are. So use of the data to
Yep.
identify the types of users, the type of markets, type of segments. So I think we'll see more of that from the sector. I think also because of so many companies taking a hit, big airlines, big companies have been wiped out. So I think
Yeah,
everyone realized we need to collaborate more. So I think
yeah,
we'll have the public-private partnerships. They call PPP,
yes,
public-private partnership. We see already government realizes need to work together more with the agencies, with the airlines, with the travel agents. So there will be more of that collaboration. We'll see this one, which is
correct.
good. And then
Yeah,
everyone's realizing that for us to survive, we need to collaborate. We don't compete. We don't work in isolation. We should work together. So I think we'll see a lot
yeah,
of that. And I think also what I suppose I have a feeling for is that the role of travel agency.
the
So
role of the emergency. Okay.
yes, so today, if you want to travel to a country, you can be your own travel agent. You can book your flight yourself. You
Yep.
can book your hotel yourself.
DIY now. You can
Yes,
DIY now.
you can book your tour guide. You can
Yeah.
rent your car. So travel agencies have become sidelined over the years, more and more. But now, I think with this new era, people will want more of that human touch and reassurance that, okay,
Yeah.
if I put something, can I get a refund? Is there
Yep.
safe? So I think
Yep.
the travel agents need to evolve because technology is
Yep.
moving very fast. But I think they have a new role where they can really have that personal touch, that interaction with the clients. And I hope that evolves more because travel agents do have an important role to play,
Yep.
but they have to evolve with the technology of the times. I think those are the main things. I think working together, more sort of creativity we'll see, and
From
yeah, from all the players, because the companies want to attract. Uh, they want to promote certain values now. They want to promote the environment, so they're going to be creative in how they want to say, look, we're environmental friendly. Our carbon footprint is less. There's a lot of that demand for that. So I think we'll see more of that sort of stuff, which can only be a good thing.
yep.
And I'm hoping somehow they will look at a way of calming the over tourism angle that don't bombard. So governments need to have a more important role in actually managing tourism in their countries, in their sector. So I hope they do that. So that's more of a hope than an expectation, but this could be a trend, But
Okay.
definitely, technology, communication, payment,
Yes.
and
Yep.
the environment, sustainability,
Yep.
these sort of issues.
This is very interesting, Mr. Kamrat. There are a few things that you said just now. The first thing, I believe people are going now for the new, the trend now, people are looking for hygiene. Okay, so they are
Yes,
more concerned on their health. Okay,
yes,
so they want to have not to say they love street food, but they want to find the cleanest street food. Right,
yes,
so they want to
yes,
protect
yes,
themselves.
absolutely.
Correct. And they also want to change in terms of these travelers itself. For me, they also already changed their attitude. Those days, they also don't have a very good, tourists don't have a very good attitude. But when
Yes,
they
yes, that's
travel
a
and
very good point.
travel,
Yes, yes,
they change a lot. If let's say we go to Japan, if we throw something, we feel so bad, damn badly.
yes, yes,
Because we see the people in Japan, they go and pick up the
yes,
what they call the rubbish and throw by themselves. You see, so
yes.
people tourist attitude also have been changed. Okay, during this era, I love when you say that the Bitcoin. Okay, the Bitcoin,
Mm,
the
mm,
new methodology of because
mm,
now it's very difficult. We are having this type of event, okay, for people to transfer money from their own country to
mm,
another country also very difficult,
mm,
right? You must have a
mm.
lot of proof. You have to give this, you have to give this.
Yes,
So this is what we're expecting, okay, in terms of change, in terms of payment, okay, it could be improved, okay. It's very
yes.
good things. And today, in about 19 hours of nation time today, we are going to have a topic, the IR 4.0 and tourism industry. Okay, they are talking about
Fantastic.
this technology, the big data, the Bitcoin
Big
things.
data. Yeah, big data is a huge subject now. Yes, yes, yes,
So they are going to have this in this afternoon. Okay, in this
yes.
evening. Okay, another one more thing that I learned from your side is basically also about collaborations. Okay, I want
Collaborations. Yes,
a very good example. This event, okay, our event is the WorldTEX Hybrid 2022.
yes,
Okay, meaning now in Kuala Lumpur, physically we have combined. Okay, instead of making our opinion as our enemies, but now we
Mm.
are collaboration. So we
Yes.
collaboration with Kuala Lumpur Travel March. This is where we have a very big and powerful impact.
Excellent.
500 plus what do you call it, buyers came yesterday.
Wow.
uh,
Wow.
8 hours of events seem like it just 10 minutes of event.
Wow.
So
Yes.
yeah, people feel, and this is the first event done in Malaysia, right,
Yes.
especially in Kuala Lumpur. And we have a lot of people from Southeast Asia. They come not only on what do you call it, in a small group, but
Mm.
also by bus, right? Two bus from Indonesia, two bus of buyers from Indonesia,
Two
right? So
busloads, huh? Wow.
yeah, two bus from Indonesia.
Fantastic.
So as you said, we have to collaborations so that we
Yes.
can be stronger travel agents can what I mean, can collaborations, okay.
Yes. Yes.
So
And
then
organizations like yourself, like WorldTech, this is really vital for us. You're giving, for example, me, give me a platform to exchange views and to send messages. And this
correct,
is part of the new era because this never existed before COVID, right? None of this stuff happened
yeah,
before. So this is what we mean. We are seeing this going to be more of a trend people are more used to having meetings
yeah,
and events, whole events online.
yeah,
This is like fantastic. So these are definitely a trend for the future, and this is forever changed the way that tourism is going to operate. This is forever
yes,
changed. It's
and
not going to go back to some other way. There's always going to be great advantage now for hybrid events, virtual
yes.
events. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, the virtual events is some things that really as the idea that you're saying before we go to another country is good
Yes,
for us to have at least 5 or 10 minutes virtual reality, how we feel, so that we can learn a lot of things. So we know
yes,
and we are expecting what we are expected. You know, so
yes,
that would be
yes.
great.
Absolutely
Okay.
right. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, this is great. I mean, yeah. I mean, your I mean, there's many attractions, of course, in Malaysia. I'm still, as you're
Yep.
talking about the changes over there. I mean,
Yeah.
it made me think. Actually, I'm feeling hungry now. I'm just missing some of the Malaysian street food. We talk about hygiene.
Yep.
I'm saying yes. Always that I know I can go to any street place in Malaysia and I never have any problems what I eat. That's the
Yes.
thing I really
You don't
like.
scared. You
Yeah.
don't scared because you taking care of yourself. Okay. For us, if you
But
can
I
travel
think the
everywhere,
government has made some health and safety rules like that, which is great.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this is fantastic. So these are
And
things which are
that's
the trends. The hygiene is very important.
yeah, and a regular inspection also have to take place to make
Yes,
sure that all our traders, okay, are doing very good, okay, I
yeah,
mean, not break the rules. So that's good, that's the
yeah,
things
yeah.
that I learned from this, what you say. And of course, as you said, many good things are expecting to come, okay, especially the DIY, it yourself,
Do it yourself.
right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
even
No,
now, for Umrah and Hajj, definitely. So now it's DIY, right? They are changing the
the
rules, right?
E visa. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is a
So
massive change.
so
Yes.
yeah,
Now this
correct.
has caused just on that subject. I mean, there's a lot of so many Hajj and Umrah agents.
Operator.
Yes,
Yeah,
operate
agents.
well agents. Yeah, so they've suffered hugely. They're taking a big hit because a lot of their business was on the visas. So
Yes,
they need to evolve now as well. They need to evolve.
definitely.
So
I
we're
think
having something called we see a lot more of this Umrah Plus. Have you heard of this Umrah Plus?
I'm not really into that particular
No,
things.
no. For example,
Yeah.
even we had some from Malaysia. They said, okay, we're going to go all the way for Umrah, but
Yep.
while we're in Umrah, we want to see Jerusalem or we want to see
Yeah. Okay.
Bosnia,
Understood.
Bosnia.
Yes. Yes.
We want to
Yeah.
see Spain or Europe or something,
Yeah.
somewhere. So this is called Umrah Plus. So this is a new trend as well, which we're seeing that
Yes.
when they're coming, so then the Hajj and Umrah companies now are evolving to offer something more because there's certain amount of business they've lost. So this is something
Correct.
interesting.
Because if they don't change, they're going to die. So
Yes,
they
they
have to
evolve. They need to evolve.
have
Yeah.
this the plus one. So meaning before they
Yes,
go to Hajj, before they go
yes,
to Umrah, they have to visit another country.
yes,
So this is the only things that the agent can control. Otherwise, no, because
yes,
it's been controlled by all the Saudi authority already, Hajj
yes, yes,
authority. So this
yes.
this changing DIY is really really massive. I still
Yes.
remember those days when we want to book the hotel ourselves, we make a phone reservation, we have to
Yes.
wait. But now OTA with a good price, you can choose where you want breakfast, you don't want to breakfast, you want half board, you want
Yes.
full board,
Options is huge.
everything is
Options.
there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, very option, and we
Yeah.
can see the amount exactly. The I mean the rate we can
Yes.
see
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
so we can make
Yes.
a big choice. So
Yes.
these are the things that what you say with regards to the upcoming and big trends.
Yes.
I believe it. So as a travel agents operator as well, we have to study about this thing as well. Yeah? This is why we call it new era of tourism.
New era of tourism, and from the that's from the, as you said, the industry side of things, and then from the, if you like, the customer side or the user side,
Yeah.
definitely they want something more quality than before. They want
Yep.
experiences. They want maybe more
Yep.
travel with family groups. They
Mm,
want something more on less damage to the environment. That's the
yep.
sort of things which what they want to see do. So we're
Yes.
seeing a trend and a shift in the pattern of the user as well. So
Yep.
we, in the industry, need to adapt to encourage that, to support that, and also the final, I suppose, thing would be there's more of an interest in the people in the country which they're visiting, that we are having something which contributes positively to them rather than
Yeah.
exploiting tourism. Just come in and make everyone sing and dance for us so we can see someone in
Yeah.
a traditional clothes, and that's it. So
Yeah.
we don't boil the whole culture into one or two little experiences, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was I was in Uzbekistan a couple of years ago, just before COVID,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know, and although, you know, it's a extremely rich and cultural country, but
Yeah.
to be honest, because of I was surprised that level of tourism had really boiled down to a few very simple things, you know, like
Ah.
Tashkent, Samarkand, Bukhara, and then when you
Yeah.
go to these places, these old places which have got a lot of heritage and history, is, you know, they have like little, you know, simple dancing shows and light
Yeah.
shows, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
becomes tacky. To be honest, it's become tacky, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And we need and governments need to really look at that. And Uzbek government is taking a lot of attention to make the heritage, reclaim the heritage part of the tourism. So that's a good thing.
I I agree with you, Mr. Kaman. This is why those countries that focus really on the industry, tourism industry, like Thailand, like Indonesia, okay,
Yes,
their main source is industry. They really take things not for granted. The moment
good.
the tourists come in, okay, of course we hear here and there,
Yes.
the operator or the people there try to do something silly to the tourists,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
But as a what do you call it,
Overall, yeah, yeah.
overall these people, they really, the moment you come there, they are not selling the destination, they're selling
Excellent.
the experience.
Yes, yes. This is
Yeah,
important. Absolutely.
this is
Yeah.
very very
So,
important.
yes. So I think this is what we will expect to see in the future. Is we can keep our eyes out. I'm sure we'll see these sort of things coming up,
Yeah,
and it's an exciting time. And I always had the view that, and again, I hope governments do this. It's not easy. I hope governments start
yeah,
looking at,
I agree with you.
that it's better to have less tourists, but for quality, and those tourists will come again and again, rather than have a
Yeah,
mass of tourists coming in just once. You know, you can have
yeah,
less tourists, but they will come repeatedly, and it will be
I
beneficial
agree.
for longer term. So I
Yeah,
hope
I
hope the
still
government
remember.
step in.
I still remember there is one tourist, right?
Mhm,
They informed me last time. There is an island in north part of Malaysia. Okay,
mhm.
very famous, but during the most what do you call it, peak time. Okay, peak time. There's no tourist.
This is Langkawi, no?
No. I mean, not our country, our neighbor country. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay, sorry, sorry, okay, fine,
okay,
fine.
so the tourists not coming. So all the people, the local people, are thinking, why the hotels, our room is still not filled up? Why there's no people? Because the
Mhm.
power of mouth spreading
Word of
mouth,
mouth,
and
yeah, word
also
of mouth,
the
yeah, yeah.
new the new technology with the blog
Mm.
people, with the Facebook social media, people are saying, okay, we don't want to go to boycott this place because they try to cheat people, they try to cheat people, they try to cheat
Yes,
people.
yes,
So
reputation is very important. Yes.
yeah, so the repetition is very important. This is
You,
why
you,
then
you. Mm.
after
Sorry,
they
sorry.
realize that, after
Mm.
they realize that, then only, and it's not easy to bring back when you have damaged it.
Absolutely, yeah. Once you use it, they say a reputation takes lifetime to build, and it takes a second to lose.
Seconds. Agreed. Agreed.
So this is very good.
Yeah.
And you've actually touched upon another thing, Brother Saiful, that destination which is uh, fully occupied during the season, but then it's empty for
Yep.
off-peak season. So this is another trend which you just reminded me of, which we expect to see, that the destinations are trying to also present themselves as all-year destinations. So they'll provide other
Yep.
offerings to try and attract people all year round to give a more
Yes.
sustainable type of tourism. So this is
Agreed.
something we'll see in other countries as well, where you don't normally
Yeah.
expect to go, and
Yeah.
there's something there all year round. So
That's
inshallah, it's
why the
exciting
local
times. Mhm.
That's why the local people, when they receive what they call it, the tourists, they
Mm.
have to behave themselves. They have to
Yes, customer service.
give a
Yes, they have to
warm
give.
welcome,
Yes,
right? Not a cold welcome. So this is why
yes,
people love to go to another country because they receive this type of things. They feel
yes.
secure. They
Mhm.
feel that they've been treated well. Okay, so these are another part
Absolutely, absolutely.
of the
Yeah,
tourists, okay, at the changing of their mind. So they don't want to go to the country where they have to be scared. They want to go a night market. They scared. They want to go
they feel
for
welcome.
a
Yeah, they
night
want to feel
club.
welcome.
Yeah. So that's the most
This is very
another good
important. Yes, some countries have really
area.
perfected that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely. Okay,
Great, great.
good. So now let's go for the final question to you, Mr.
Okay.
Kamran.
Yes.
Okay, but before we go for the final questions, I believe we have viewers. So all our viewers, if you have any comment or any question, you can always ask us. Okay, we have a leader. Okay, in the industry, Mr. Kamran. I believe already long enough in this industry. Okay, and have a lot of offices. Okay, all over in
Not a lot,
London.
just a couple.
Yeah, five, three office or four office.
Three
Three.
offices:
Three
London,
offices.
Dubai,
London,
and
Dubai,
Sarajevo. Yeah,
and
London, Dubai, and
Sarajevo.
Sarajevo. Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, now the last questions. Holy Bosnia has a strong reputation, okay, in the halal travel world. Okay, so how will you guys meet the demands of the new era of tourism, especially in this halal, what do you
Mhm.
call it,
Context.
package?
Yeah. Well, thank
Yeah,
you for that question. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes, we do have a good reputation. We have a lot of supporters, a lot of respected partners. Maybe a bit of a background as to how and why I set up Holiday Bosnia as well. So I've been involved in Bosnia for about 25 years. I'm not Bosnian, as you can probably guess. So
yeah.
and but I've been involved in Bosnia.
Your origin where, Mr. Kamran?
Well, I'm from London, but originally Pakistani, UK.
Okay,
UK.
okay,
But
okay, cool.
I was in Bosnia. I think started coming from 1997. So there was the war from 1992 to 95, which was
Yeah,
well known
that's
and quite.
where that's where people start to hear Bosnia. If
Yes,
not, people
because it
don't
is a,
know
it is a
Bosnia.
yes, a terrible war. Ethnic cleansing and
Correct.
religious extremism. So so yeah, I mean, I came after the war to see the place, and I saw there's so much potential amongst the people, and it's very sad because people live together,
Yeah,
in peace, but because of politics, they're easy to separate them. And in fact, that's quite scary. How easy it is to create fear amongst societies, and people often use religion as a motivating factor to create tensions and so on. So well, when I went there, I was involved a lot in Bosnia as in a humanitarian field, and I have a good network of the place. And then I realized, forget all the issues and politics and organizations. The best way for a country to recover after the war is just for people to just come there and hang out, visit. The people in the country will feel normal, that okay, people are coming to visit us, we're normal, we're part of the normal world now.
yep,
And the visitors will come and they will, have nice experience, and they will also change their maybe perception. It's not a negative place, not a bad place. So that, and then the other reason was that on the back of the tourism, that will also promote investment and regeneration. So
yep,
and I mean, we're still involved in a lot of charitable activities in Bosnia. So, for example, our sort of view is that okay, if you come to Bosnia, you have a great holiday, and you don't do anything else, you've had a great time. But if you want to do something like charity work, we can help you. If you want to open a factory and create 100 jobs, we can help you do that as well. That was the
yeah,
sort of view, the reason behind it. So for me, my view was already ethical, and if you like, these new era issues of sustainability and ethics, and so putting something in the community. That's something which we've always done from the beginning. So I'm just glad to see if the rest of the world starts doing that as well. So as part of our work, for example, a percentage of our profits has always gone back into the communities, to support the
Okay, that's
poor, the
good.
people in the communities. And we work with, local organizations. Um, Also, we will start we did the planting of trees, so environmental
Ah,
sustainability contribute to that generation, so that the person knows that, okay, every dollar you give for us for your trip, it's going to actually benefit and trickle into the wider economy and into
mashallah,
investments. So
mashallah.
this is actually what I speak about as the concept of travel in Islam.
Giving,
Yeah,
giving, traveling in Islam.
travel in how Muslims should travel. You know, this is actually a 1,400-year-old tradition which we have as Muslims, because Muslims have always been travelers, and Malaysia, of course, a
Yeah.
hub for travelers from all over the world. So travel is part of our culture. We travel for work, we travel for what's the I think um, I'm trying to remember one of the Islamic sort of scholars. I'm trying to Imam Shafi. He
Imam
said something
Shafi.
like,
Okay.
that people should travel. People travel for certain reasons. One is to seek sort of employment. The other one is to learn,
Yep.
learn and things like that. And the other one is just seeking the company of good people. This is
Ah,
something, traditions from a long time ago. And of course, in Islam, Muslim sailors, travelers have always been, part of the culture. And the highest levels of travel in the Muslim tradition is Hajj, right? Hajj and Umrah.
yep.
You're traveling for connection with God. And of
Yep.
course, in our also Muslim tradition, the Muslim experience, the experience of the refugee, the muhajir, as in our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, was a refugee, and he traveled
Yep.
to escape from the persecution.
From Mecca to
Yeah,
Medina.
so travel is
Mm.
part of the Muslim DNA. But what
Yeah.
have we got today? We have people going up, taking selfies, and that's the whole experience, and putting it on
Yeah.
the Snapchat. So for me, I want to go back to the old traditions, 1,400 traditions. So Muslims used to travel, they used to share their experience with other people. They used to even promote good image, even if they meet with
Dakwah.
non-Muslims.
Dakwah.
Yeah, dawah, and people say, okay, they break down the barriers and fear between,
Yeah.
oh, our perception is different. So, and of course, we help the community as well. So all of this was embodied in Holiday Bosnia. We have visitors from all over the world, Muslim, non-Muslims. We have groups, mixed groups coming in, and we're not huge, but we have quality. We focus on the quality. So people come. Sometimes we have people like, let's say, some Americans would come, and they would have a different image because of their media's brainwashed them, Muslims and everything.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
there, and we tell them, for example, in Bosnia, let's say 1,000 mosques were destroyed, like dynamited, but not one single church. So then they get really surprised because they have the image of ISIS, and that's, well, ISIS is, you guys, not us, So they sort of change their views, and then they see exactly in Bosnia people from multicultural backgrounds living together. They used to,
Yeah.
they used to be even more mixed. Politics has made a mess of it. So and we do projects where we bring young people from different ethnic communities, the Orthodox or the Catholics and the Muslims, to get together, and so this is some of the things we do. So we do have an emphasis on that, and of course, emphasis always on quality as well, quality of experience. Meeting the communities, enjoying the nature, and all these sort of things. So
Yeah.
I feel that we're doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
What is going to be the trends. Where we would look to, I suppose, would be to use more of that technology, which you mentioned. I don't know. I mean, maybe something along the lines of maybe improving the payment process,
Yeah.
um, and we always would like to welcome more partners to work with us in new ways. Um,
Yeah.
Generally speaking, we don't do mass tourism because it's again our values. We have certain values. So
Yeah.
um,
Understood.
we would like to have fewer partners but good
Yep.
quality. So that's
Yes.
our approach.
Understand.
And in terms of the values, I just mentioned values. So this is part of the new era. People have certain values. So our values follow on the Muslim values. So Muslim values are ethical values, actually. What is the difference between something which is Islamic and something not Islamic? It's the ethics, right? So
Yep.
halal food is ethical food. Islamic banking is ethical banking. So same thing
Yep.
for Muslim style travel should be ethical. So as a Muslim travel company, we can't overcharge you. These are values. We
Yep.
can't. We must be transparent. We must offer the best value. The best quality.
Correct.
If there's a chance for refund, but this is another factor, by the way. If there's a chance for refund, we will be flexible as much as possible. Of course,
Yep.
if you book a hotel and then you cancel, the hotel may not give the money back, or they may give certain back.
Definitely.
From our
That one
side,
definitely.
as much as
Mm.
possible, from our side, the tours and the,
Yep.
the, the, the trips we can do. So these are a bunch of values where we have to be honest, transparent, and then we were hoping that maybe in the future, if other companies follow these values from the Muslim community,
Yeah.
then people will come to us because we're a Muslim company, because they trust us.
Yep.
They won't get cheated. They won't. They will have a
Yeah.
good experience. So these are all values which are centuries old, but we've lost them or we've forgotten about them. So these are the things we want to
Wow.
do, inshallah. So anyway, I won't talk on
Wow.
too much on that subject.
Mr. Kamran, you really make me impressed. Okay, you're very
Thank you so much.
strong,
That's very kind.
strong principle. You have a company with a strong principle. Okay,
Alhamdulillah.
ethic, especially
Yes.
in your day-to-day works. Okay, yeah, it touched my
Thank you.
heart.
Thank you very much.
It's not easy,
Thank you so
but
much.
it's good. But it's good to have a pioneer like you,
Thank you
so
so
that
much.
it
Thank
could
you
be
so
a
much.
role model to others. All right.
We welcome
So
people from everywhere. We speak
yeah.
we speak on the subjects. Internationally, I've spoken before COVID. I used to go around speaking a lot about subjects.
Okay. Good.
So even when we speak, we I try to explain people what are the Muslim values, because a lot of non-Muslims don't know about that.
Yep.
So the concept of travel in Islam is a big subject, and travel is one of the biggest ways of breaking down barriers, because human civilization
Correct.
has moved through communications and travel. So
Yes.
so this is a great opportunity. So final point, I also say, I mean, just really for the Muslim audience, is that
Yep.
we want the Muslim traveler is an ambassador for our communities. And I
Agree.
call it a force for good. The Muslim traveler is a force for good. So
Yeah.
we want Muslim travelers to come, have a nice time in Bosnia. There's many things to see and do, and also be a force for good, and we
Yeah.
can help them do that. And we would like them to do that everywhere. And if the Muslim companies want to do that policy, we want, if everyone can do that, I'll be even more happier. So not even
Yeah.
Muslims, non-Muslims, everyone.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's why I said you have a very strong principle. You have a lot of people, not only from Asia but also from Europe as well. So
Yes,
they come to Bosnia. You show a very good example, a good business ethic. Okay, this is
yes,
a very strong principle. So you don't really we look for profit, but yes, we have a certain things that
yes,
we have to
exactly.
we have a thinner line, right? So very
Yes,
thin line. We not go both. We not cross the red line. This
yes.
is
I
really
mean,
superb.
yes, we have, as you know, in Muslim tradition. I mean, we I think it's um, Hazrat Umar
Yep.
ibn Khattab said, "What is meant for you is not going to pass you by, and what is not meant for you will never reach you." So
Correct.
this is
Agreed.
what we abide by, this philosophy that
Yeah.
you know we had during COVID time, for example, our staff, there was no business for more than a year or so,
Definitely.
but
Retention.
I kept paying the salaries of the staff because I knew that's the
Retention.
job, as much as
Yep.
possible until we ran out. but
Yeah.
but then again,
Yeah.
things come back again. So
Yeah.
this is the way we approach, because we know that our rizq is not from our own efforts; it's from the big boss.
That's
So
right.
alhamdulillah,
Agree.
alhamdulillah.
Agree. What we need to do is we just do. All right.
Yes,
We have a
yes,
very great plan, but
yes,
he has a very
absolutely, absolutely.
awesome plan for us. All right.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Yes, yes.
So wow, I'm very lucky today. I'm very lucky. I
Oh,
put a quote
no, you're too kind.
because the
Yes,
moderator accidentally have a certain issue, so God have chosen me. All
alhamdulillah.
right,
Yes, yes.
to conduct the webinar together with you. I tell you, I'm very happy, very
You're
honored,
too kind. You're too
and
kind. Thank you.
the way that you you share all these things. It's really make me feel okay. I have to do that. We have to together. Don't look
Agree.
for enemies. Okay, work together. Have a strong faith. Okay,
Have the
everything.
strong faith and don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Because and if we work together,
yeah,
we're stronger.
yeah.
This is for the
Correct.
industry. And
Yeah,
this is one of the main things for this new era of tourism. People are forced to, I mean, people, because of the COVID,
yeah.
they're probably forced to work together. And
Together.
it's a good thing, you know, and they're forced
Yeah,
to look at how the tourism is not so, make it less exploiting, you know.
yeah.
So it's
Correct.
a good thing. Inshallah, it's a good thing. Let's hope to see that.
Yeah,
And we welcome everyone to Bosnia. It's a beautiful
sure.
country. It has its tragedies, of course, but we want to show all
Yeah.
the good things and the tragedies, so we learn. We learn from it as well. And
This is what. Agree.
yes, alhamdulillah, and our supporters. We have a lot of supporters. We have people who come multiple times,
Yeah,
and it's because of our values. And they come to us,
yeah,
and they feel comfortable. We can tell this is what we can do. This is what we advise. This is what we can't do.
yeah.
And everybody's happy. So, alhamdulillah, that's where we are.
Perfect. Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. Time is very jealous
Oh,
with
you're too kind.
very precious.
You're too
Yeah.
kind.
All right. Honestly, I would like to say thank you, honestly, from our team and myself. Okay, we have a very good time
Thank you
today,
so much.
Mr. Kamran. All the things that you have shared with us is very, very fruitful. Okay, your feedback, and we learn a lot, especially about the principle, the new trends. What you can see, the especially the AI, right? Artificial
Yes, yes,
intelligence. So we believe it's going to take place very, very soon
yes.
in the
Or even
industry.
VR, virtual reality. Yes, as well.
Yeah, the virtual reality. A lot of things. I'm very honored to be with you today and very happy.
Thank you.
So, do you have any last word to end
Well,
this
yeah, I
webinar?
would
Yep.
like to thank you, Saiful. It's real fun conversation with you. And hope we meet physically one day in the not too distant
I
future.
mean, one day you are most
Um,
welcome to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I love Malaysia. I love Malaysia, and
Yeah,
you know, we really want to spread the positive message for everyone. Um, you
sure.
know, um, and then we want to make sure that, again, what I mentioned before, that we can turn, especially the Muslim traveler, the force for good is
Yeah,
a force for good. This is what we really
yeah,
want to promote, and we want to do it by our example. But everyone is welcome. It's not exclusive to me. It's for everyone.
yeah.
We want to share the
Correct.
benefits for everyone. That's the way we share the benefits for everyone, and then the rest is in the hands of Allah.
Yep. Yes, correct.
And thank you for giving me the platform and the opportunity to explain these
Yeah,
things.
we
I
we
appreciate it.
also very happy to what we have shared today. And as what you said, we can plan, but everything is in his what you call
Exactly.
it. If he want
Yes.
it to be, it's going to be. It's not going to be. It's nothing will happen. All
Yes.
right. Thank you, Mr. Kamaran, for such a very good
Thank
day.
you so much.
All the information that you have shared to us. I will remember you, inshallah. All
Inshallah.
right.
We're
I
waiting for
believe.
you. We're waiting for you in Bosnia.
Inshallah, we'll put in the list. We'll put in the list. All right, we'll put in the list.
Please,
Inshallah.
please.
Okay. Once
And
again, ladies and gentlemen, to all our viewers over there. All right, we are very honored to have Mr. Kamran Sadikul today from the founder of Holiday Bosnia in our webinar. Okay, this webinar will be continue in our social media. So anybody who want to what do you call it, go through all again from our starting time, so you are most welcome. Okay, once again, on behalf of the team, we would like to say thank you to Mr. Kamran, and
thank you.
also wish you all the best, wish you success
Thank
in
you.
your business.
Thank you.
Okay, we hope that everything will be okay.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
mean for
thank
everyone.
you
I
very
mean for
much.
everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, thank you,
Thank you so
and
much.
thank you to everyone. Thank you very much. All right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.